Hello and welcome to another update video about render. The render chart is currently in a pullback zone in this support area. We talked about it before. I think I've made a slight change to the wave count. I'm not entirely sure what the exact wave count was from the previous video because it's been a while, and also I had to redraw the chart because the ticker I used before, I think it was the futures chart, that got I don't know, the data was gone. I think some exchanges made some changes there. So I had to redraw it, and this is the wave count I would go with. Two scenarios basically, and both at the moment bullish. There are two support regions. Not sure if we're holding the upper one. I have to say that very clearly. I'm not sure if we're holding the upper support area, but we'll talk about that. And I also have to say that this move up here from the swing low in June 22, there are multiple interpretations possible to count this. Okay, so it is not a very clear chart. I mentioned that many times, but we want to explore that. So we have an initial rally into the 2021 highs. I call that wave A. We have the B wave pullback, but really what's interesting is now this C wave rally. The C wave often reaches the 100% extension. Now, I have to say I'm starting here at the beginning of the chart measuring. So I'm not sure if this includes all the data. So if it's saying $63, I'm not entirely sure, might be a little bit lower. I would take that with a pinch of salt, but the wave count still allows for further upside. And as I said before, most coins I'm tracking allow for sort of one more high or two more highs in line with the Bitcoin chart as well. Of course, there are certain conditions. Once support breaks, that becomes far less clear. But for now, the support level that really matters is at $4.48. Now, the move up from the B wave low then in June 22, best interpretation I can offer, and it might change, is that we had an initial rally in a wave one. So in the white count, this here could be a diagonal pattern. So where we say we had a 5-wave move up in a diagonal, where this here could have been, and again, there are few ways to count this, but it could be, as I said, a diagonal wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 in wave 1, shallow wave 2. That shallow wave 2 creates a bit of a problem because it's too shallow to be reliable. But then we could still be in the third wave, and we've seen a small 1, 2, 3. This would be a wave 4, which ideally doesn't break below 448. And then a 5th wave rally from there to complete the larger third wave. Then another 4, 5. This would be ideal. If we break, however, below $4.48, then it is not an impulsive wave count anymore. Yeah? So we have wave 1 as a leading diagonal, and then wave 2 and wave 3 is an impulse. But below 448, that is impulsive support. The interpretation of the chart changes. And the next best option I could then look at is the idea of a diagonal pattern, that the C wave to the upside unfolds as a diagonal, and instead of a 5-wave move up, we would have to interpret the first wave up as an ABC structure, which is possible. I can do that. I can say A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's possible. And then, so 5 in wave C, right? A, B, C. And then wave 2 pullback again. And then this would be an A wave up, a B wave pullback, and a C wave rally in wave 3. It would just mean that it will be a bit more of a bumpy ride. And in that case, then $2.18 is next support, or let's say 323 to 218. That means if we break below 448, talking about a sustained break here, the 323 level will be next support, or should be next support. If it's support, only the price will tell us when it finds support, but it's the next Fibonacci level to watch. In the short term then, there is no evidence that a low is in. I mean, we can still interpret that as per the previous videos as well, as an ABC structure. You might remember that we've been watching for one more low in the last video. That one more low happened. In the micro, or looking at the micro patterns, this was a 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've been watching for one more low. This is pretty much in line with what Bitcoin is doing. Ideally, we're turning around here somewhere. But until we get a first upside reactions, there is no low in place. Just checking if we can draw a trend line. Yes, we have 4 touch points here. So I would rather say then that the first indication that a low is in place is a break above this descending trend line. That could also be a nice breakout trade for anybody who's looking for a breakout trade on the long side. Until we break above the trend line, however, the trend is still down. Clearly, and 448 is the next pivot. Below that, 323 is the next one to watch. There is some structural support in that area as well, around that 323 level here from the previous swing lows in January. That's the update about Render. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.